Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm going to be teaching you about the concept of space or creating space for your team. I'll broadly cover what space is and detail a few key things you should know. This will be done mostly from the perspective of main tank, as it is the most common role that contributes to making space. Other roles can have an incredibly impactful presence in creating space, but most space created in organized play is through your main tank and frontline combo. We will be going over the definition of what space is, why space is important, and how to create space, and how space created for you can be capitalized on. Creating space is a term that is well known amongst top-level players, but it is still misunderstood by a vast majority. The actual definition of space already covers the term quite well. Space is a continuous area or expanse that is free, available, or unoccupied. Building from that, your job as a main tank is to make an area that is free, available, or unoccupied. This is the key that allows your team more opportunities to deal damage from more positions on the map. It unlocks potential situations for your team to do their jobs because there are more places on the map for your team to access. Teams with exceptional main tanks dominate many games because of the pressure and space they provide to their DPS. If tanks are rotating aggression properly, they can gain a few precious seconds for their DPS to shoot freely to deal damage, rotate, build ults, and even just give them time to think. A solid example of this can be shown with most Route 66 defenses in the Overwatch League. Let's take a look at a London Spitfire VOD for a solid example.
A lot more tactical crouching. That's right. To be fair, that was the fusion last time, so you know, fair is fair. You give and you get in this game and in this world.
I love it.
Enough life advice for you though. Let's see what Shadowburn now can do on the setup. So, on the Widowmaker here, definitely wants to be careful of Bedosian getting up behind him.
Well, there's going to be a ton of pressure on him, right? I mean, you're going to have Birdring playing Genji, obviously Prophet, what he can do on Tracer. You also have Gesture coming at you, but then Bedosian obviously has another level to it. They're going to jump right on top of Shadowburn. It's going to be able to get away. They'll beat some members, but they lose Boombox early.
Not a great start again. It's been a common theme in this series. The Boombox has been isolated very well by the Spitfire. This is no exception. Brought back to life, as you mentioned, there's a Widowmaker, so often accompanied by a Mercy, especially for attacking teams. Shadowburn has not really found his big opener yet, though. Staying on the low ground, holding onto that grappling hook in case that happens. So that's kind of the problem now as well. You don't want to use a grappling hook too frivolously because Winston can actually take it out. But guess who's dead again? Boombox got
Well, the thing is Shadowburn can use the grapple hook to get away. Neptuno can fly to it. Boombox can't do anything, so they get away. The Mercy gets away from the Zen, so then Zen has no healing. He goes over by Shadowburn. It just leaves Boombox there to just get slaughtered.
Now let's look into this fight a bit closer. London has prepped their team knowing most likely Philadelphia will have a Widowmaker. Their entire goal here is to control the top tunnel and bridge to shut down the enemy Widow. As soon as Philadelphia's Widow grapples up to the bridge with her Mercy following her, London jumps and establishes themselves on the bridge. They move to these positions and drop Winston Bubble on the bridge. Using both D.Va's defense matrix and Winston Bubble, London claims the entire area both on top and below the bridge. Winston's Bubble is a crucial ability when it comes to controlling space. It limits the space that enemies can not only move, but also shoot. Philadelphia is forced to react by peeling for their Widow, committing both a large amount of Matrix and Mercy healing to Shadowburn. While these resources are being forced by London's frontline and Genji, Prophet, London's Tracer, manages to engage a freshly exposed Zenyatta for a free 1v1. Knowing that no help is coming, Boombox is forced into the 1v1 and gets eliminated. Both teams then reset and prepare to fight once again at the corner. Gesture then puts his bubble down on the corner, expecting Philadelphia to commit to the fight, but they simply focus the shield and prepare to fight with a cooldown advantage. Rather than taking a fight with a disadvantage, London is aware that they cannot win this fight, so they jump out, giving Philadelphia a few seconds to push the cart for free. Gesture pushes around to the back of a gas station while waiting for his bubble to come off cooldown. The second London has their cooldowns back, they engage onto Boombox, the front line cleans him up incredibly swiftly, and then Nuss manages to boop Fraggy as he is attempting to peel. Now we should talk about how to capitalize on space created for you. Prophet finding that kill on Boombox is a great example, but there are many examples we can find in this single video, both from Carpe and Prophet. Here we see Carpe land a stick on Gesture, giving Philadelphia a 1 kill advantage, but notice that he doesn't immediately rush in after the kill. He still waits for his tanks to push in front of him and begin moving the cart. London's D.Va then throws his self-destruct out to no avail and ends up dying in the process. knowing his tanks will be able to handle any threat to his healers, Carpe is free to push and set up for the next point. Often the people that benefit from the frontline's dive and the space made from that dive are the DPS, specifically Tracer. Looking for openings in the enemy team's formation is situation dependent, but once your tank has established that space and creates that area for you to move around in, you can begin to do whatever your character specializes in. These scenarios are what you want to be looking for as a DPS. Finding these situations may be difficult at first, but once you know where to look, it will become easier to understand where and when the best spot to engage is when playing with your tank. A solid rule of thumb is to wait until your Winston is going to jump someone, and simply play close to the target and prepare to focus the enemy once he engages. Similar to the clip playing now, even a simple coordinated dive of Tracer and Winston is enough to force out a few defensive ults. We can see again immediately after this, they jump back to Fraggy together to catch him overextending and get the kill. All the while, Prophet was barely looked at by Philadelphia due to such coordination and space made by the Winston Tracer duo. This nets them the win with a clean 4. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned something from this video. If you want to learn more about me, you can check out my Twitch and Twitter, which will both be linked in the description. I'm also the head coach of the UCI Esports Overwatch team, and will be helping run a competitive Overwatch camp over the summer. There will be a link with more about the camp and program in the description, so make sure to check it out. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.